All right, so let's talk about overnight finance. Making this video kind of off the cuff. Usually YouTube is about a week behind. I did have people on YouTube, where was it here, being like, no video about OVN speaks volumes. Just to be clear here, in the UIG, instantly we go live, we talk about what's changing. I'm going to go through some of these comments to just show the level of investor we have in the UIG, but YouTube is not my full-time gig. Videos are usually a week behind. So I thought, woke up this morning, seems like people want a video on OVN on YouTube, and I'm going to do my best to kind of off the cuff share my thoughts. Community's not really worried about it, and it's just amazing the level of investor we have in the OVN. Like my old degen ways would have lost a bunch of money in OVN, but since applying the UIG strategy of actually taking profit, I actually made back my initial a while ago. Playing with house money doesn't sting, and that's most people in the UIG. We've been in this since March and earning between 200 to 400% return. So I'm going to talk through our strategy here. What I see a lot of, especially on like just YouTube, of people just, they're chasing yield. I always ask the question, why are you in something? What is it about the project that attracts you? I have made so much money on OVN, haven't sold any positions. I want to be clear here. I'm still in this. I'm still really happy with the returns, and all of this is house money. So I'm going to talk through all that because I think this will be really, really helpful. And if you want more info on overnight finance itself, we do have a few videos on it, and we've been posting about it inside the Underdog Investor Group since about March. And actually early in March, we took on 3x leverage. So when OVN went from, $22 or $30 up to, at one point, it was almost $100. It was just around $97. We took on 3 leverage, sold somewhere around here. And I'm pretty sure I got videos on this all over YouTube, but we took $5,000, turned it into around $35,000, took out our initial. The rest has been house money. And just remember, if you're making 300%, you get 100% ROI every 4 months. So as long as you are taking profit and you're stacking that into maybe other projects or stable coins, you can buy back cheaper. Yesterday I saw on just some YouTube comments on YouTube, people just freaking out about OVN, being like, oh my God, what happened? All that tells me is you're overexposed to a small cap project. Overnight finance is extremely small cap. It should never be more than 5 or 10% of your portfolio. If you're sweating overnight finance, just take it as a reminder, because we all make mistakes as investors. But take it as a reminder, write it down, small cap, never more than 5 or 10% of my portfolio. So even as it fluctuates, it's not a big deal. Plus, if you look at VFAT here, this was worth around $20,000. Now it's worth around $15,000, because if OVN drops by 50%, my pool doesn't drop by 50%. It drops by around 25% because I'm paired with a stable coin, which is why with small cap stuff, I do like pairing with a stable coin, because the price is so volatile. I typically don't like to just hold it because the price moves so fast. I see this as it's an awesome project. It's an awesome team. They're still building cool stuff. Nothing has fundamentally changed. I don't try and time markets and try to speculate on when to get in, when to get out. I want to get into an awesome project. I want 100% ROI it as fast as I can. I want to pull out the initial and then make that work for me somewhere else. And all of this becomes house money. All of this is house money, so I don't have to worry or stress about it. Plus, at 200%, it means every 6 months, I've 100% ROI'd that investment. And I'll get into that stuff a little bit deeper here. Twitter, not too much going on. They're still kind of posting and talking about overnight. I know there's a lot of token unlocks. There was a lot of selling. The whole market was kind of going down. And then everyone panic sold. I think we went to around $16 and then bounced back up to 20 something. Again, I don't really care for all that. To me, that's all noise. And I'm not an emotional investor. When I see on YouTube people commenting without much thought, it's like I ignore it because I don't like to react. I like to wait 24 hours. I like to get data. I don't try to make assumptions. It's like we've got to slow down. And if you have a diversified portfolio with stable sitting on the sidelines because we're taking profit, this stuff will never bother you. Again, right when this was going on, I'm like, oh, let's go live and let's just talk through it. And I was just like, this is why our community is awesome. I'm still in one OVN pool on Aerodrome. I've taken consistent profit the whole time in both pools. I use rewards to build up my wrap Bitcoin and ETH bags for the last couple months. The drop doesn't hurt as bad when you earn fees like that. Yes, I believe most people are overly stressed because they are an OVN just for cash flow, nothing else. The LP presents one of the best yields out there for a full range. And here I read comments and found one UIG member mentioning OVN will tank because the team will sell. The member mentioned this is the power of community. Cautious about the pool, that he'd like to buy at around $17. That's why I joined this community, because of that mindset. I unstaked my tokens from the pool. OVN dropped. bought some around 21, staked it all in XtraFi, I'll be buying more at 17. That is an investor, not a gambler. When I see YouTube comments, no video about OVN speaks volume. Well, at Murad1, YouTube is not my full-time gig. And again, YouTube videos are usually a week behind. So hopefully this video helps you in some way, shape, or form. But my question to you would be, why are you in it? What about the project excites you? So many people, I think, are in projects and invested in assets that they have no idea why they're invested in it unless they're just chasing yields. And if you're chasing yields, when markets move and when things shift, you freak out because all you were in it for in the first place was for the yield. You don't even understand the project. I spent over 10 hours researching OVN finance before I even invested a drop. And when I saw what they were building and the momentum in March, it's like, let's take on some leverage. So you are taking on more risk for more reward. Let's ride the price up. Let's pull out the initial. Now I'm risk free. And I could just keep enjoying 200 to 300% returns, cash flowing my portfolio, not really caring what the fluctuation in price is doing. But I always ask people, why are you in it? Look at your portfolio. Look at everything you're in. Why are you in it? Can you tell me within 30 seconds why you're in it and what your plan is for it? If you can't, you're gambling. If you have any small caps, which OVN is, that's more than 5 or 10% of your portfolio, you're gambling. Also remember, if you're doing 300%, in 4 months you've got an 100% ROI. Maybe you are in something just for the cash flow, fine. But what are you doing with the fees? Where are you investing them? So you're protected from the volatility of that small cap. And so maybe you're in a position, 10% of your portfolio is in OVN USD plus, you're claiming it, you're taking those claims, you're lending it. Within 3 months, you've 100% ROI'd, you've got, you put $2,000 in OVN, and now you have $2,000 in stables sitting on the sidelines, you're lending it for 10%. Something happens in the markets, you've got dry powder to deploy. Now, of course, if OVN went to $0, of course that sucks. We don't want that, but you're less emotional about it. Or if you're in a BTC ETH pool or an ETH USDC pool, we're in all of these. SUI ETH. I love my SUI ETH position. My SUI ETH position has been in range since I got into it and it's making 312%. That means every 4 months, I've 100% ROI'd. There is no investment vehicle in the world that can do what DeFi can do for you. But again, most people are gambling. They're getting into stuff, not knowing why they're getting into it. Then they're freaking out when things are shifting. They're selling at all the wrong times. They have no strategy for the fees. And they're 100% invested in high-risk assets because they're chasing yields because they're greedy. And they're happy when the markets are green. Yay! Then the markets go red. And they just freak on anyone that they can freak on. Then they get super emotional and they make all the wrong decision. And it's like, when are we going to learn that gambling doesn't work? If I'm making 100% on ETH, I'm stoked on that. And then it comes down to, what are you doing with your fees? So to me, again, claim my fees. I got a video coming out that kind of walks through this whole process. If I had 100K to invest, how could I potentially do it? I take those fees, I lend them out, or I bull my bull run bags with it. So I'll buy more Bitcoin, etc. And that's how the game is won. But I will ask you, this is a great moment. Look through your whole portfolio. Why are you in everything? Have you spent a few hours researching? At least a few hours why you're in what you're in. What's your plan? If it starts moving, what's your plan? What's your plan with the fees? What's your whole portfolio allocation? Are you in way too many risky assets? And most of your portfolio is in risky assets, small cap, mid cap stuff. Okay. Why? Are you okay with it? Are you okay with the volatility of it? Can you stomach the volatility? Are you making enough in fees that you can stack it so that if there is volatility, you can still come out on top? It's like, these are all things we have to think through. And I think many people, especially on YouTube, which is why I try not to share portfolios too much on YouTube, they're getting into stuff without any thought or any rhyme or reason. Highly, highly recommend check out inside the UIG, check out in our DeFi frameworks section, just review, go through it again in the do your own research part. Crypto asset risk assessment, OVN would be pretty high in the risk assessment. And then freshen up on the liquidity pool entry criteria. You can also download the worksheet and kind of go through it, our entry criteria. So before you actually enter a position, you go through a checklist and ensure that this is something you actually want to enter. It fits your investor profile, your investor goals, and you understand the risks so you can allocate it accordingly in your portfolio. This will take you 1 hour max, but that 1 hour is going to save you so much time, so much money, and so much stress down the road because you're just going to understand your portfolio is built this way on purpose. You're really good with it. You're certain, you're confident with your portfolio, and whatever happens in the markets, you're good. Highly recommend you review it. We also have a YouTube video. I recommend you out this video here. Where is it? Here it is. Yield farming strategies we use for crypto passive income. And I kind of walk you through all the things you can do, how you can build your portfolio, and how you can ensure that you're maximizing the upside, you're maximizing the profitability, and you're stacking your chips so when markets correct, which we've kind of seen over the last week, you can seize opportunities and you can move faster than most because you're clear-headed, you know what you're doing, you know your strategies. Highly recommend you check out this video. In fact, I will post it somewhere up here. It'll pop up. You can click on it. You can check it out. With that said, I really hope this is helpful. No more gambling, investing. No more emotional responses to the markets. You're cool. You're clear. You're like, oh, right, I've thought through this and I'm good. I could tell right away when someone's gambling because they get hyper emotional. And I'm like, you're gambling. I have a little book, and every time I've made a mistake as an investor, I would write down the mistake and then write down the lesson from it. And then I would just never repeat that lesson. So if you've been caught, if you 100% of your portfolio is in a small cap like OVN, you don't know why you're in it, and now you're freaking out, we've all made that mistake. Just write it down and never repeat. I will not chase yield. I will not have more than 10% of my portfolio in a small cap project. I will do at least 30 to 60 minutes of research before project. I will join the UIG. The UIG is like an insurance policy. We do so much research, and there's a whole community that can check your thinking. So one mistake can cost you thousands of dollars. And like, we designed the UIG to be less than $100 a month, and it's like an insurance policy for your crypto DeFi portfolio. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. I know this video was off the cuff. I didn't have much time to prepare stuff. Usually we're a week ahead on YouTube. So I really, really hope this video was valuable. And with that said, appreciate you a ton. Keep investing, keep yield farming, get the best of both worlds. Yield farm, take those fees, stack for the bull runs, leave some stables on the side. When market's correct, you can redeploy, rinse and repeat, and you can build some awesome wealth if you play this game right. Like, subscribe, check out some other videos. With that said, we'll see you in the next. Peace.